Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 4, Chapter 19. Jeeva and Dheva. When you pour oil from one tin to another, the hand that pours must be steady, and the tin from which it is poured must not shake, nor should the tin that receives shake, for that will also make the oil spill on the ground. You should be nishchalam, not moving. Then only can you accept the bodha imparting of knowledge straight into your hearts. Now, there are some who say that Jeevi will be Jeevi, individual soul, and Deva will be Deva, God, and the two can never be the same or merge. If that was true, then what is the use of japam, dhyanam, satkarma, good deeds, and all the other varieties of sadhana, spiritual discipline, recommended by the shastras and the sages? There is no doubt that Nara, man, can become Narayana, God. Tvam, thou, can become Tat, that. That is the doctrine of the Upanishads and the experience of the saints. Once a quarrel ensued between the Advaitin, non-dualist, who said that the Jeevi, individual soul, is really God who falsely identifies himself with the limited name and form which he appears to have assumed, and the Dvaitin, dualist, who said that the Jeevi is distinct from the Deva. When the quarrel boiled over, the Dvaitin said, "See, even this Dhobi knows that Advaitism is wrong." The Advaitin said that the Dhobi too is subject to the Ajnana, the delusion that he is the limited Upadhi, adjunct of name and form, which are but temporary adjuncts of the personality. The knowledge of the Kshetra and the Shretrajna will alone help to overcome that delusion. Kshetra is the field of the senses, the field of the dualities, and the Kshetrajna is he who knows the field and is its master. Human body is God's temple. Every word used in philosophy and even in common parlance has a deep meaning, full of significance. Dehi, which means liable to be burnt, is the word for body, not merely because it is consumed by fire after the prana, life, has left, but because even when alive, man is consumed by the fire of tapatraya, threefold suffering caused by oneself, nature, and fate. Sariram, which is another word for the body, also comes from the root, meaning that which is consumed. The Deha, body, is called a Devalayam, God's temple for the Jeevi, individual soul, which is the Deva, God. The architectural temple has three parts: the prakaram, outer temple, the inner temple, and the shrine, or the garbhagriha, sanctum sanctorium. These three represent the stula, the sukshma, and the karana sarira, the gross, the subtle, and the casual body of man. When you go to a temple, you should remember this symbolism. Prakirti is a word that is used to indicate condition of the body, the swabhava, one's nature of the body. Well, this prakirti or nature is also just swabhava of the Lord, his sankalpa, will, a manner of his manifestation. All this is, as Kasturi said in his speech, while quoting some experiences of bhaktas, his hands and feet, his manifestation. That is why it is said that the sarvam is Brahmamayam. A yogi had an attack of gastritis, and his comrades and kosadhakas gathered round him to advise him on the treatment. One man suggested that he should always keep some salt in his mouth and swallow the saliva. He did so, and he was always having salt in the mouth. A few days later, he wanted to distribute some sweets to the children around his ashram. But whichever item he tasted, he found it was not sweet enough. At last, one sweets vendor asked him to spit out what he had in his mouth and gargle his throat and wash his mouth and then taste the sweets. That made them taste quite nice. With all this salt taste accumulated through many births on your tongue, how can you discover the true sweetness of the Lord? Keep intellect free from prejudices. At one of the railway stations of North India, when a thirsty passenger asked the waterman whether the skin bag from which he was pouring water into his cup was clean enough, the waterman replied, "The bag I have is cleaner than the bag into which the water is being poured by you." Keep your mind clean of vasanas, tendencies caused by past deeds. Your intellect free from prejudices, your character free from blemishes, your behavior free from rudeness. Then you can attach yourself to God, and God too will favor you with His affection. With just a little paint and a piece of white paper, the painter can draw a frightening picture of a demon, or a charming picture of a smiling baby, or an inspiring picture of a yogi meditating on the Absolute. All those different reactions are the result of the combinations of colors. The basic reality is just color. So too, in the picture house, the screen is the stable substance, the shadows come and go. When the picture is being flashed on the screen is not noticed. It is the base, the foundation. The whole of it has become the picture. Sarvam Vishnu Mayam Jagat. All this universe is pervaded by Lord Vishnu. Everyone calls himself I, is it not? Now, who gave that possession? Was it any company, or did you get it as part of the dowry? Or from the rulers? Or from some organization? You say it is your birthright. Well, let it be so. That I is the entity which is posited as Brahman in the Mahavakya, great Vedic dictum. Aham Brahmasi, I am Brahman. See the divine in the sense impressions. When the one became many, when the one manifests as Prakriti composed of the 5 elements, do not imagine that its value is affected thereby. When a rupee is changed into 10 Naya Paisa coins, its value is not decreased at all. So see nature as Supreme Soul, not as multiplicity of sense impressions and sense attractions. Wherever your eye turns, whatever your ear hears, your fingers touch, your tongue tastes, and your nose smells, whatever has form, sound, touch, taste, and smell, take that also to be God-filled. Do not allow the mere sound, the mere taste, etc. to captivate your senses. See the divine in each. Welcome and accept only that. When Tukaram was asked how man can keep this monkey mind from running after sensuous pleasures, he replied to the inquirer, "Let the monkey run. You keep quiet where you are. Do not let the body go along with the monkey mind." Tell the mind, I shall not give you the body as your servant. Then the mind will desist and it can be defeated. Just as there is a method to be followed even in pulling down a house, there is a method to be followed even in pulling down the complex structure of the mind. You can become master of yourself. The mind can be pulled down by systematic efforts and you can become master of yourself. You might ask, can such a mighty force come down? Well, when we were nearing Rishikesh on our way back from Badri, Governor Ramakrishna Rao also asked me the same question. I asked everyone to come beyond a certain point on the road in a matter of minutes. Everyone was surprised that I was ordering them to get down from the cars and buses and scurry forward in hot haste. I told the governor that the projecting rock on the mountain by the side of the road will slide very soon on the road and block it. He asked me, is it possible? Within a few minutes after everyone had come forward to a safe distance, the rocks fell and the road was blocked for a long time until debris was cleared. The ladder must be as tall as the height to which you want to climb, is it not? Your spiritual practice to curb the mind must be carried on step by step until sakshatram, realization, is gained. The rice in the pot must be well boiled and become soft and sweet. Until that happens, the fire must burn. In the vessel of body with the water, that is to say the senses, boil the mind and make it soft. The fire is the sadhana. Keep it burning bright. The Jeeva will at last become Dheva. Prashanti Nilayam, May 17th, 1964.